Fortunately, we don't reason like that. Anybody thinking that Igbo presidency 2023 will stop us? What we want is Biafra, and what we're going to get is Biafra.
Hereby declare no election, no 2023 general election in Biafra land. This no election in Biafra land has been activated. We are going to make it a task that must be done by every Biafran. All measures will be put in place to make sure the adequate civil disobedience is implemented to stop the election in Biafra land. Instead, Biafra will not come in 2023. We will burn down Nigeria, and still Biafra will come. Do you understand me? When we say we will burn down Nigeria, some people will shout, "Oh, go and arrest him. Go and arrest him." These are fools. Complete fools. You think we are scared of saying we are going to burn down Nigeria? Who will burn down Nigeria? You think war is to come and cement your house? You think fighting war for your freedom is to come to your house and cement it, or to go to government houses and put a pillar so that it will not fall? You think fighting for freedom is not about burning down? We're going to burn down Nigeria. And after burning it down, Biafra will still come. So the choice is yours. It is not, I want you to make this video go viral. I am saying it today, the 6th of November 2022. If you do not give Biafra freedom, and if we do not get freedom in 2023, and if we do not fight for the freedom and get it, we are going to burn Nigeria down. And after burning it down, we are still going to get our Biafra. All of them is what we call win-win.
Achieving Biafra is a task that we all have to do, and that is why we're here. And I welcome you especially to this program. Thank you all for joining. Hi, good morning, Mark. You're the first person to send the greetings. Thank you so much, Mark, Gloria, Matthias. Thank you for joining. I want to thank you all for you've always been there. Aubrey's Dishes is here already. I want to thank you all, Shabbat, Kelechi, and everyone. Thank you very much, Aubrey's Dishes. Thank you, Afro Emmanuel. You are here also. Good day to you, Mr. Kel. Happy weekend to you. Thank you so much, and happy weekend to you, to my brother from another mother. Thank you so much, Princess E. Good morning, brother. Hope you are good. Yes, I'm good, Princess. Good to have you here. And also, you're saying good morning, Biafrans. And of course, I also want to say to Biafrans, wherever you are, I greet you based on your time zone. And I want to appreciate you for joining live today, the 12th of November. Is it November or October? Oh, I'm running faster than this stuff. Is it October or November? I can't remember now. Can you imagine? This is interesting. Well, it is November anyways. I think we're in November. Let me check again so that I don't tell. It seems okay, we're in November. Oh my, this is interesting anyways. Yeah, friends, you see that sometimes we get very, very, very carried away and we forget even the time. Pastor Rose Allen is here. Good afternoon to you, Pastor Rose. Thank you for joining from your location. I want to appreciate you for joining. Also, Chukwemeka Anamege. Thank you. Anamege, sorry. Thank you for watching it. Welcome. Thank you so much. I want to greet you all too from here. I appreciate it. I want to tell you people that our guest is already in the studio and we're expecting the other one also to come. Pastor Victor, he's already in the studio, but I'm going to bring in him shortly as soon as I finish up the details of imagine Princess is laughing at me. Princess, you're laughing at me. You see, don't mind me. You can imagine I forgot that we're in November. Can you imagine? The Water Pro Max month. I forgot. Oh my God, please. God help me. I won't forget this again. Please, I won't give you another opportunity to laugh at me, Princess. Thank you so much, all. Good afternoon. Mazi Kelechi, my sincere condolence for your grandma's stay. Thank you so much. Oh, Edith Nedu, you already... Thank you for that condolence. Yes, I lost my grandma yesterday morning. She's about 100 years old anyways. I thank God for her life. So I appreciate you for remembering to actually, send me a condolence live here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Edith Nedu, thank you. Good afternoon and remain blessed. Uche 22, Uche 22. Thank you, Uche. I appreciate you, Uche. I think this is the first time I'm seeing your message. Chinwe MC. Good afternoon, Sir Casey. Thank you, Chinwe. I want to, and Chinyere. Chinenye, sorry. Oh my, please, sorry. Sorry about that. I think it's old age. I don't mind. Okay, I want to welcome you all to this live broadcast. I can see people are joining. Please, I want you to like this video as much as you're coming in. Just like it and then share it because we're going to be discussing great things today. Today, you're going to be hearing from veterans, people who experienced the war. Because if we begin to let these things go, they would, most of our people are misbehaving because sometimes they don't always remember that there was a war that people died to secure our freedom. And the fight for freedom right now is very, very crucial because people have died for it. So they forget and they begin to sell the whole thing. They begin to misbehave. They begin to kill other people. And they begin to do so many terrible things. And that is why we have dedicated every Saturday to this cause of remembering and speaking with the people, remembering the dead, and then speaking to the people who actually experienced the war. Whether they were fighters or they were just, civilians who were there, we will be speaking with them every Saturday. And at the same time, you have the opportunity to ask questions. You can call them, ask them questions, and get any information you want to get, because we need to know what happened to our ancestors or the people before us. Thank you, British Dishes. May Jehovah rest her soul. Thank you so much for that condolence. All these dishes. Thank you so much for that. I'm grateful. She just died yesterday morning, and she lived a good old age, 100. It's okay. Well, if she could have lived more, maybe God would have permitted, but God permitted to take her away. So I want to appreciate God for her too. Chukwemeka, greetings, children of Most High. Chukwu Kiki Abiyama. Thank you, Chukwemeka. Kabiri. That's your surname is very long, please. I don't have the strength. Anyways, so I want to appreciate you all, and of course today is the 12th of November 2022. That is Saturday. This is the weekend, and I know that you're enjoying your weekend wherever you are. Please like this video, share to all your friends, all your social media platforms, and get people to come together. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel and then let people to come and listen, because we're going to be going straight into the matter. But before we go into the matter, I want to remind you, of the circumstances or the situation in the world today. Of course, during the week we had the story of France deciding to pull out from Mali and all of that, but then still retaining about 3,000 soldiers. And of course, Africa is so important to them. They want to always be around Africa because of what they are gaining. Anyways, and of course we have the story, of course, the Republicans and the Democrats, they're still struggling it out there. And of course, they are still, today we hear that the Democrats are almost, retaining their power in the in the Senate. So of course, we keep listening to all those information and all of that and getting to understand what is going on globally. And of course, you hear of the, the Tigray and Ethiopia, agreement. And of course, yesterday also they went ahead to try to see how they're going to enforce the agreement they signed last week. And so we're looking forward to having better things, but we know that the only solution is for Biafra to come. And when Biafra comes, we are going to have these things sorted out within, not these foreign people, all these Europeans and Americans and all of that coming in, exploiting us in the name of trying to help us. We understand what they're doing. They will always want to stay in Africa because of what they gain. And of course, we know what they're doing. I want to appreciate you. This is NUGGET Conference, and we're going to be listening to the experiences of those who were in the war, who were right in the action in the midst of the action. 133 days, yes. Countdown. Of course, today we do the countdown. Thank you, Shedrack, for reminding me also. Of course, I always wanted to say it anyways, but at least you have reminded me to say it right here now. 113 days to go home to Biafra. Biafra land is our target. Biafra, our home, is our target. Our nation is our target. Our sovereignty is our target. And we have 113 days. Yesterday was a great time. We had the Oduduwa, representation here. And of course, we had Olayomi Koiki of Koiki Media. He was here. And I tell you, we're going to be having this I told you we're going to be having this regularly with the Oduduwa, kingdom, or the Oduduwa nation. We're going to be here together. And we're going to, as soon as we finish the arrangement, I finished discussing, and we have been able to seal the day we'll be meeting every week, because we're going to be meeting once a week. Once in a week, I'm going to come here and I'm going to announce it, and we're going to start off. We're not going to waste time. This is going to be real. We're going to be having them here, and we're going to be together. We're going to be having this fellowship in here on this hallowed platform where we discuss truth, we discuss our freedom, we discuss things that concerns us. We're going to be having it once a week by God's grace. As soon as I'm through with discussing and getting their own site, time and date that will be okay for them. So we'll be having it every week, once a week, together, joint. We're going to be having different people come from different places, from the Oduduwa, nation. We're going to be having, as much as Koiki Media will be here, other, media personnel in Oduduwa land will be here. And also looking forward to having Sunday Igboho here, looking forward to having Professor Banji and other top elders in Oduduwa land. We're going to be having them here. I tell you, it's going to be very interesting, because we want to begin to let the world know that we are serious this time and we're not joking, so they should understand that we have come for our freedom. Welcome, Biafra. Thank you, Edith Nedu, for that message. Thank you also. Very soon I'll be bringing our guest into the studio, and as soon as I bring him in, we'll start off, and you'll begin to hear some things that will blow your mind. It's going to be interesting. Please keep sending and inviting other people to join us now. Keep sending and inviting. Like the video, forward it on all your social media platforms, whether WhatsApp, whether Facebook, whether Twitter, whether whatever platform you are, send it right now, because as soon as I bring him in, they need to hear these things that are going to be coming out today. The people, you need to hear this thing. Send to them, because this is very important. Those ones who are falling astray, those ones who have gone astray, those ones who have thought that Biafra freedom is ended because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and extraordinarily rendition. They should understand that this is the beginning of a new time, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming back strong to join us, and that is why the platform have been set for him to come and join. So you have to send the message to them to come and begin to reason with us now, according to what the Bible says in Isaiah 1 verse 18 or so. Yes, I'm seeing the messages coming in. And Emeka, please, brethren, like the program, like the program. Thank you, Emeka, for the emphasis. Like the program, share and forward on all your social media platforms, and then get yourself, of course, your friends, people around you to join and listen to you. If they don't have data, let them join you to watch this, because it's going to be wonderful. You're going to hear the experiences of people who have gone through this period. Anyways, we're still waiting for the second guest, but of course, we're going to start with our guest here. As soon as I bring him on. But before I bring him on, I'm going to be playing a particular video, because we're going to be playing the video of the war so that we'll remember. Because it has become a yearly thing. Every year we just remember them, and that's the end. But we want to make it weekly so that our people will begin to think and reason when they know that every week they are going to hear about the war. They're going to hear from people who were in the war. We are going to hear from those who are veterans. You know, they're going to hear from, I mean, it will begin to bring the spirit back into some of them who are falling out. You know, some of us don't need that anyways to always be in line, because we believe in truth and we stand for the truth. Come rain, come shine. But there are people that you really need to remind them. They are weak in their spirit. So you need to keep reminding them, and keep reminding them. I greet you, Biafra, to the world. Thank you for that message. Unstoppable Movement TV. Good afternoon, Biafrans. Thank you. Nwokike Daberechi. Thank you. Good afternoon from here. God blessings for you, to you, for your good work. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to be playing the video. As soon as I play the video, I'm going to bring our guests, and then the program begins. So watch out and listen carefully to this video. Some of you might have listened to it before, but listen to it again. Very key and very important, so that you can hear testimonies from two sides, a Biafran and a foreigner.
The world is slow in understanding.
Very, very slow indeed. In fact, I was so surprised that the world could be so slow in thinking. I never knew that man could be like this. I had always thought that man is a reasonable, understanding creature that feels the woes, the troubles of others. But I didn't know that man, especially those who are in power, those who rule, that they could be so wicked and so hardened that they cannot just feel the trouble, the woes of others, and that they could just determine to starve a whole people and to kill a whole people. No, the world is so slow in understanding.
Biafra is at the moment experiencing jungle justice, which is the justice of might is right, because we're under an economic blockade, we're under a propaganda blockade, we're under a diplomatic blockade. Nobody sees what we are suffering, nobody hears what we are suffering, and as a result of that, the wrong story is presented to the world. We are not heard, and therefore we cannot be judged except on the basis of the lies being told about us. When we have been able to overcome this jungle justice and we are heard, then we will then get the civilized justice, because our case will be brought into the open. And once a case is in the open, you cannot play tricks. We are now victims of blackmail because we are being suppressed, we are being muzzled.
But you still fight on.
We fight on, oh yes, Biafra fights on.
How long have you been in Africa, sister?
11 years in all.
What do you think of this whole situation?
I think it's just terrible. Terrible now. There's so many innocent people, so many civilians being killed.
Welcome back. Without wasting time, we're going to be bringing our guests. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, fathers and mothers, friends, lovers of freedom, I welcome on stage Pastor Victor Adim. You are welcome, sir. Please say hello to your friends. We need. I think we're not seeing your face. I think we need to see your face better here. Okay. Yes, we can see you now. Thank you so much, sir. You're welcome. Please say hello to Biafrans, please.
Thank you so much. Hello, Biafrans. I thank Kelechi Ambrose for the opportunity to appear on this hallowed network. I give him all the glory. I give him all the honor. I give him the adoration. I give glory to our leader, Martin Nkugba, who is at the moment paying the ultimate price for every one of us. I also give appreciation and thumbs up to Mazi Simon Ekpa, who single-handedly did not allow this trouble to nosedive. I also give thanks and respect to all those who lost their lives. Many of those who lost their lives, even those who were not accounted for. The figure we are playing with today as to the total number of Biafrans genocided during that war is not the real figure. And I will get to expose this later on. I thank God and I congratulate the Fulani terrorist government for accepting the gift of reprobate mind from God that will eventually lead to their destruction. It's a gift, and they've received it, just like Pharaoh received it. Just like many people in the Bible received it. I give respect and kudos to the legal team, especially those ones that are working for Master Nnamdi in spirit and in truth. I also appreciate our Oduduwa warriors. And I use this word, the Oduduwa warriors, because these are the people who understand our language. These are the people that want to fight for the Yoruba race. So my utmost respect to Professor Banji, Sunday Igboho, Koiki Media, Michael Diary, and AJ. I also respect Governor Oton for his boldness and tenacity in being the lone voice in the wilderness. All the middle belt warriors that are rising up, you have my respect. All the unified freedom fighters, the BNG, the BNL, etc., you have my respect, and you're all doing a great job. It gives me joy to watch these guys. What they are doing with locally manufactured equipment, locally manufactured rockets. And this goes to show, as our people usually say, that okukumini anangoko. That technology we had far back then did not die. And my respect to them. My respect also to the House of Kingdom, who have suddenly started realizing that they are not part of these cannibals ravaging the nation from top to bottom. Kelechi, this is a very emotional period of my life. It is that part of my life that has been under lock and keys up to now. Up to now. I pray that God gives me the strength to do this program.
He said,
although it's a sad part of my life, I also use the opportunity to thank God that despite the devastation around me during this period, that I'm still a living human being. You see, before the war in 1960, I was about 6 to 7 years old. Life was good in Lagos. In fact, life was very, very good for every citizen, without exception. The schools were working. And if you have schools in Lagos during this period, you will appreciate what Adim did. That great man. His free education. Free education meant free education. We were fed at school. I was at Igbo primary then. My favorite food at school used to be abeho. The schools was working. Adequate materials. The roads were good. The hospitals were good. There was electricity, and there was even running water into every compound, if not into every house, as people can afford it. For those people who live in compounds, there was running water in the compound. My father was affluent. He went to Sandhurst military in London. He was an officer in the Nigerian army. Not that his parents had money to sponsor him to London. No.
Please, sir, just give me one, please, before you go on, sir, 1 minute. Let me welcome Chief Emeka. Chief Emeka, you're welcome, sir, to this live.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Pastor Victor has already started to narrate his own story. So as soon as he's through, I'm going to call you in also so you can take it up from there. Please, Pastor Emeka, Pastor Victor, sorry, please go on, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Interrupting.
Not that my father's parents had money. That was far from it. But he was sent to Sandhurst by the Nigerian government. Yes. And that was when there was transparency. That was when there was sincerity of purpose. The Fulanis were busy engineering their agenda. The rest of the nation did not know that. Because things were working. And this was the best period I've ever known that country to be.
So before you go on, please let me say something. My viewers, please. I know that the audio is not too very clear, but please be patient and listen because we cannot be interrupting him. Because when things are like this are being said, you cannot not be interrupting because it has to flow. So please bear with. Please bear with us and just try as much as possible to listen clearly and try to listen how much you can listen. At least it's coming out somehow and we can hear it. So please don't complain about it. Just please listen to the words so that you can receive every information because we cannot be interrupting. Such kind of mood, you don't interrupt it. You allow it flow so that you can get all the information you need to get. So please, thank you so much, everyone. Please go on.
Thank you. My father resigned from the military and he joined Shell as a manager. And even then, life was better. My father was always taking us to Leventis and Kingsway, and all his children, from top to bottom, we wore St. Michael's then. Yes, at this time, life was very, very good. In fact, every citizen was happy. There was foreign food that you can't get now easily. Foreign food was all over the place in Leventis and Kingsway. Even the fresh milk was available then in Nigeria. At school, there was unity between the Igbo children, between Easterners and the Westerners. Because these were the two races that embraced education. We didn't know much about the Fulanese. There was few Hausas in the school, but primarily at Igbo then, it was mainly Igbos and Yorubas, and they coexisted peacefully. We played peacefully like brothers. Our parents were in harmony, to the point that if a Yoruba man is doing a party, you know, their party is always very elaborate and, you know, very interesting. People are excited, they invite us. Life was good. But this period of peaceful habitation, this period where every citizen felt like a human and a spiritual being, this period of national prosperity, happiness and joy, this period of hope was short-lived. It was short-lived. Then came what Master Simon Ekpa rightly described as the dangerous diversity. Then came the killings in Lagos, the killing of the Easterners. You will wake up in the morning and you hear that, Papa, this person has been killed. Papa, that person has been killed. There was uncontrollable weeping and wailing on the streets where we lived, because it was a street occupied by affluent, you know, Easterners, military guys, you know, professionals, you know, corporate guys, weeping and wailing. I can remember one day walking that street before we ran away. You know, this family here is crying. By the time you get there, that family there is crying because of their father that have been butchered or killed. Then came the exodus of the Easterners from Lagos. Easterners started hiring 911 trucks to take their families and belongings back to the East. It was indeed a lucrative business for the Yorubas. Our parents were very grateful to them for their service because they saved their lives. But for us kids then, it was fun. The idea of traveling a long distance, all the pampering along the way, it was fun. We did not know what was ahead of us. It was great fun. The pampering, the journey, the stopping here and there and feeding, it was fun. Not knowing it was goodbye to everything that we have known. Goodbye to the good life we have known. Goodbye to all the luxuries we have known. Goodbye to all the school friends we have built up over the years. And a journey into uncertainty. A long journey into uncertainty. Then life in the village. Life in the village was not as rosy as it was in Lagos. But I was very appreciative that even in the village we had working systems. There was a village court, there was a village school, there was a village market. But drinking water and electricity was an illusion in the village. It was an illusion in the village. And that was the greatest, luxury that we missed from coming to the village, not being able to watch the television. All people had was just, this working radio with batteries. People had to trek miles to go and fetch drinking water. Then gradually came the hardship due to the food blockade. Gradually in Biafra land, life went from hard to harder to hardest. And that's it. When you truly respect the resilience of the Igbo man. Yes. That is the period you respect the ingenuity of the Igbo race. This is the period you respect the togetherness of the Igbo race. What the Igbo race have turned out to be today is not the Igbo race I grew up with in the village. It's not the Igbo race I got to know. The resilience of the Igbo race is absolutely impeccable. People who make do with terms. Trade by barter was the order of the day. This period gets back to the technical ingenuity which the Igbo race is jealous for today. Igbos were making all sorts of things. Their love for each other, the brotherhood among the Igbos, that was when the Igbo slogan, Onye ala nwanne ya, Onye ala nwanne ya, had meaning. Not now. With what we have seen, with what have transpired, with the rendition of our leader. Now that slogan, Onye ala nwanne ya, to some people now is Onye re nwanne ya, which is very sad. People were making all sorts of things. Then came the proximity of the genocidal Nigerian army into the villages. And what actually happened that time was, as they encroach one village, you will see the villagers migrating to the next village. And they will cross that village, the next village, then both the origins and the visitors will now migrate onto the village. That was how we ran for our lives. Suddenly, the bombs start ringing. The shelling is everywhere. And my mother was where she went for market. By this time, my father could not take it anymore. And he died after he was injured, because he was also used as a Biafran general. And that is a story for another day. all I saw. My mother's sewing machine was in a box. It was a hand sewing machine in a box. I collected all her jewelries, gold jewelries, in the box. Some of her wrappers, some of her clothes, shoes, and I put it on my head. I gathered my siblings. I joined the file of people escaping bombardment. File of people, endless files of people with their belongings on their head, whatever they could carry, escaping bombardment. Even on that file, you will see the Nigerian Air Force. They will come and drop a bomb on that file. It will create, a crater that will sunk people on that particular vicinity. And that is not for Biafrans. We moved on. Biafrans moved on. We moved on to our destination. We're now at IDP camp in the north, thinking it's a new phenomenon. IDP camp started in the east. Biafrans are the first, especially those part of Biafrans that saw the war, were the first to experience IDP camp. Because that's where we ran to. In a community school. You have every family, they have their mat, every family with their mat and pillow, and that was life for 3 years. Even though families that did not know each other were living together, nobody lost anything. Nobody lost anything. So all these names being given to the Igbos about their love for money, about their betrayal of each other, it's a new thing. I didn't say it as a child. I didn't say it when I was growing up. It was the contrary. The refugees now started developing life where they were. They started selling their things. People like my mother that had those of jewelries and wrappers, she started selling her jewelries just to feed us. Just to feed us. And then I was able to run away with her sewing machine, and we later met at the IDP camp. And it is that sewing machine that I took away that sustained us during that war, because she was able to. She was, there was no clothes then. People didn't have any clothes, so they had no alternative but to make sure that what they had is patched. If it tears, you patch it. You take it to my mom. My mom would patch it because she's a singer trained seamstress. So that was life. That was difficult. Really difficult. People at least that to survive. People ate rats to survive. Snake to survive. Even okra. There was nothing like okra then. Okra was starch. Do you know what Biafrans use as okra? Very young cocoa. You know when the cocoa buds start coming up.
Yes.
When it start coming up like that, and when you cut it, it's like okra. That was what it was doing as okra. You could see then. They started discovering all sorts of things just to survive. Brothers and sisters, it was horrible. It was a nightmare. People died that were not even accounted for. And then they said, okay, Biafra surrendered, everybody go back to your village, no problems. we have to come back to our village in files, the same way we escaped. But this time, as we were returning, all the roads were stationed by this, Nigerian Fulani terrorist soldiers in groups. You see a group of 5 before you walk 200 or 300 yards, another group of 5, another group of 10, another group of 6. And as people were returning back, they're looking for the young girls, the good-looking girls. They're looking for the men that they suspect had participated in Biafra war. And there was the white bed sheets by the side of the road. As we were walking down, you see white bed sheets here before you walk around, another white bed sheet, another white bed sheet. And if they suspect that you participated in the Nigerian war, they get you, lay you on the white bed sheet, pa, pa, pa. That's it. And the white bed sheet will be covered with blood. And that is to frighten us. That is to. I saw all this thing as a child, as a young man. And even during the war got closer, we were recruited into Boys Company as a child. And our job was, once the Ogunigbe is being detonated, the enemy soldiers, they all stand there, whatever they're doing, when the Ogunigbe goes, that's how they do. So our job was to use bamboo stick, long bamboo stick, push them down, then go and get their uniform, give it to the Biafran soldiers. Then they are going to give it to the Biafran soldiers. And we've done our job for that day. I saw all this. I went through all this as a young boy. And now, coming back to the village, my uncle was among the 5 of people. My mother, every family was there. My mother was remembering the loss of my father then. She wore black mourning clothing. And because of that, they didn't touch her. She was a young woman. They didn't touch her because she was wearing black clothing. And when she realized that the black clothing she was wearing gave her immunity, my mother mourned my father for 2 years. Just to wear black clothes all the time. But my uncle's wife was not very lucky. In my presence, they just cajoled her, bam, and went to use her. These people were animals. They were animals. It was a very, very sad period for Biafrans. Very, very sad period. Very, very sad period. And there is no Biafra that went through that war that was with one Nigeria. I'm telling you, the war is deep. And the scar of that war is a lifetime scar. I don't know about others. It scares me for life. I to realize that Nigeria was one for me. I left. Yes, I've achieved a high degree of success where I am. But I'm still there in that car. Because I have to work 10 times as hard where I am to get to where I am today. And so that I'm just like a fish in a tank. There is a limit to how far I can rise. There's a limit to how far I can swim to the left or swim to the right. I'm appealing to every Biafran abroad You might think you are successful. Yes, you are successful. But you will be more successful in Biafra. Believe you me. You will be more successful in Biafra. Count the cost of your success. Extrapolate that cost to say as if you are operating in Biafra land, where there will be no limit. Every one of us have risen in diaspora to control the indigenous, the white people, under working environment. They will tell you what they go through on a daily basis. So it's not a comfortable success. So I want to use this opportunity to talk to those whom my story have touched. That this is a golden opportunity. This is a golden opportunity. And God has so much made the environment for us so palatable. Get up freedom. He has given us what Ojukwu did not have. With its social media, the internet, which has contributed a lot to our struggle. He has given us people who are no longer compromising. People who are fighting for this struggle in spirit and in truth. People who have now said enough is enough. People who cannot be bribed. People like Nkugba. People like Emeka. All the media team that stands on truth. All the guys walking behind the scene. They're taking their time to that we can have offer. There will be no more death that we have today. There will be no more sorrow that we have today. You abroad were saying to me, oh, I've had it all abroad. I'm successful. Yes, I'm successful. You might say to me, oh, you've built a mansion back in Nigeria or back in Biafra land. You have achieved everything. But you, how many years now have you not gone home? And why have you not gone home? Because you're scared. You're scared. So it is time now for you to bring back your money. I can beat my hand on my chest and tell every Biafra that those in autopilot handling these affairs, they are not Uzama people. These are people who are putting even their own, putting in their time, putting in their thoughts. So what is your excuse not to bring your money? We need your money now, Biafra. My brothers in Anambra, I'm calling on you now. We boasted of this race for a long time, the Anambra race. Of how God has blessed you people with money. The ability to create wealth, God blessed Anambra with it. And we did that for this purpose. If you don't bring out your money, you will die with your money. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
This is really heart wrenching and
very wrenching. That's
very, very pained in my heart. But not to break the sequence, I'm going to call in Chief Emeka to take it off from there, so that we can hear further what has really happened before our time. Please, Chief, go on.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with you all. The story of our people is the story of suffering, neglect, abuse, and disregard of life of our people by others. I was born in 1954. I became aware of what was happening in Nigeria, beginning the time for our Nigeria's independence in 1960. I remember lining up as children, singing, "Oh, that day, I will never forget that day. I will never forget that day when Nigeria got her freedom. When Nigeria got her freedom." As kids, we were happy, jubilant. We were given cups, plastic cups, with Nigeria's Nigeria's Independence Day written on it. And things were good. As a child, I didn't have any worry. My father was a headmaster at Presbyterian school from the Presbyterian church. So my father was posted from many locations, from one location to the other. Actually, I grew up in Ohozara, Oposi, Ugulampu, Afikpo. That's Abakaliki, all those areas. In those days, people were not aware of school. We used to go to their homes and force them to come to school. Okay, so that was the nature of things then. And I was started school as my father being a headmaster. I was always following him to his office. And I remember in 1960, I was in Infant 2. At that time, it used to be an 8-year primary school. 8 years you spent in primary school, Infant 1, Infant 2. I was in Infant 2 during Independence Day. So as time elapsed, and then I progressed in my schooling, went to Infant Standard 1, Standard 2. In 1964, I was to take my first school leaving certificate, but we changed from standard to primary, to elementary, to elementary school. That's when elementary school began in Nigeria, okay, 1964. So my father delayed me and didn't allow me to go to the next class until 1965, when I took my first school leaving certificate. I was to begin my high school, we'll call it a college, in 1966. And then that's when we started seeing people from our region being massacred in the north. I grew up in the east, so I never traveled to Lagos or the north during that time. So all I knew was the east. So I started seeing pictures of our people, half hands, half eyes, butcher, half legs, amputated. So I started hearing stories of how those who came back alive managed to escape. some hid inside the train boiler, the train boiler, boiling room, and they will gather. They will come and search, even in the trains, to find out who else to kill. So we heard about all these stories with all the pictures of all the brutality that was committed to our people. Then during that time, we heard about the massacre of Agu after the January coup of 1966. Yeah, from Agu then Gowon took over. And I still remember these things as if it happened yesterday without even having to write them down. So we continued school until while all these things was taking place, myself, it didn't really occur to me that we were heading to war. My father would buy newspaper, we read in the mornings, listen to BBC assiduously to know what was happening. And then after Guinea was killed, and all our people started returning to our region, Ojukwu announced that every Igbo person living in different parts of Nigeria should return home, because it seemed that we are not welcomed in all the different regions of Nigeria. So everybody came back home, and through the National Constituent Assembly, they decided to declare Biafra. Okay, so life in the 60s was very good, really, after independence, before all the political upheaval that took place that led us to the war. I will also say that the struggle for power in Nigeria that led to the Civil War mainly concentrated in the north and in Lagos. Before Zago's coup in the north, there was nothing our people was not able to do. We were enterprising, we were intelligent, we were the forerunners of what was to become Nigeria. We built Nigeria. We fought and obtained peacefully Nigeria through Nnamdi Azikiwe. So when all these things started happening, as a child, I was 12 years old then. I was only following, I was able to read, so I knew what was happening to our people until then, the 1966 massacre. When all our people came back home, and then through Aburi Accord, when they went to Aburi, Ojukwu, Gowon, and when they came back, we were supposed to, and everything was supposed to be all right. But then, before we knew it, things was no longer at ease. So, Gowon in Lagos decided to attack Biafra after we declared our independence. A few days after we declared our independence, Nigeria invaded Biafra in the north. That was Osoka's, that was the first sector, Osoka sector. We didn't have any weapons there. There were only a few from Nigeria, usually from Nigerian army, who came back home, who were really trained soldiers. Our early soldiers who started to defend us were just ordinary people who were trained with wooden weapons, for training. And when they went to war, some of us went to war with matches, anything you can find. Matches, imagine that facing people who have guns. Yet we held them in Nsukka for months until Nsukka fell. They started moving down. Then they came through the Midwest to attack us. By then, our people, we already started getting some weapons, a little bit of some weapons. Then I'm training our people with the wooden weapons. That was still in 1967, early 1967. We fought them through the Midwest. With the little we have, we're able to liberate the Midwest and then founded the Republic of Benin, declared the Republic of Benin for the Midwest. Then we continue pushing towards Okitikuba, towards Lagos, with nothing other than our ingenuity and ability, with nothing, almost to Lagos, until they decided that the instrument of war was sabotage. They bought our brothers, like Achebe said. The white man came, the white man is very clever. He came quietly and peaceably with his religion. The white man came with his religion. We were amused at his foolishness, and we allowed him to stay. Now that he has won our brothers, and our clan can no longer act like one, he has put a knife on the things that held us together. That's what the white man used to conquer us. Religion. Nigeria used sabotage to conquer our progress. So within a few days of all the achievement we have made towards liberating Oduduwa, Biafran soldiers started retreating without firing a shot, all the way back to Onitsha, across the Niger. That was a very hard time. That was the reversal of our fortune. Then Nigeria had the upper hand from that point on. As a child, barely 12 years then, I'm from the hinterland, Abreba. So the war didn't come to us that early, but we followed the war, all the atrocities being committed by the Nigerian soldiers from Borno sector, where our boys were really performed brilliantly and gallantly, to Port Harcourt, until Aba fell, until Umuahia fell. Each time, like my brother already told you, each time one village falls, all of us will run to the next village, and the people in that village will receive you very kindly, and everybody was behave like brothers and sisters. I experienced that myself towards the end of the war. So all this happened to our people. Other than using sabotage as a weapon of war, Nigeria used starvation, blockade. They blockaded us in order for us not to receive food from international community. That's why you see some of the stories, the pictures you see of our people who suffer from malnutrition, kwashiorkor. That's what killed our young children. Nigeria was evil. Nigeria hasn't brought itself back from being evil to being good. So till today, if anybody tells you Nigeria is good, tell the person he's a liar. Nigeria is an epitome of evil in the entire world. And you know what makes them evil? It is their religion. Anywhere in the world that Islam has touched has been impoverished. They want to impoverish our people. When the war, before the war ended, at least when the war finally touched my town, we ran away. Even before the war, 1968, at the age of 13, I volunteered. I went to where Biafran soldiers were recruiting recruiting some men. I went there and volunteered. Somebody saw me, they thought that they had conscripted me, and then ran immediately to tell my father that they had been conscripted. So my father rushed and told him I was only 13. So they told me to go, that I should go and eat a little bit more and come back and grow up a little bit more. So when they left me, I went back with my father. I went back home. And then I made a second attempt when one day I went with my father to Umuahia from my town. And while my father was away, I left and went to Okigwe area. There was, I think that was commando station, Biafran commando army barracks around there. That was Okigwe. So I went there. The rain that fell that day, oh my God! I only had like 20 shillings in my pocket. So I went there, saw the commando training station there. It was in a school. So I went there and saw one of the guards guarding one of the Biafran officer there. So I told him I want to join the commando. When the officer came back, so he allowed me to stay outside the house. When the officer came back, he asked the guy, his bodyguard, who was that? So the bodyguard told him, I want to join the commando. So the officer asked him, who has he recruited in the rear for him to come and recruit in the front? Who has he recruited in the front for him to come and recruit in the rear? So he told him to let me, drive me away to go home. So he told, then I asked the guy, where can I go? Is there any other Biafra training station that I can go to? So he told me, he gave me direction to another one. So I went there. And I went there, they accepted me. I trained for 2 weeks because there was hunger then at my age. And we were training with wooden weapons too. Yeah, wooden gun. So we were really doing very well. And then after 2 weeks, the 20 shillings, I mean, they will give you a cup of gari, some sugar. That's it. That's what you was supposed to be your food for an entire day. Then if you have a lot of money, like I had my 20 shillings, then you use it and buy some mama put. So I managed that with my 20 shillings until my 20 shillings finished. Oh my God! I said I can't stomach this. How am I going to? I can't survive without food. So early in the morning, because usually we run early in the morning, 4 a.m. along the main road and during the training. So with that, I knew how the terrain looked. You know, so early in the morning, one Saturday, as soon as we came out and we were allowed to go to the bush to, use to ease ourselves. After that, as soon as I entered the bush, I ran. I ran.
I was
For my life. I don't have money anymore to buy food. I can survive with a cup of curry and sugar. I ran to the main road. I ran to the main road, and being small, I saw some gongoros, lorries. We call them lorries, gongoro now in those days. As soon as they reached one station, I reached one station. So while the conductors were in the front doing this thing, I just sneaked into the lorry and I hid myself. So hid myself. So that lorry took me back to Umuahia. By then, they were already looking for me. My father was gone back to my village. So I had to walk from Umuahia, a distance of 32 miles back to my village. When they saw me, wow, they were so happy. So those were my first attempts to join the Biafran forces until finally Umuahia fell, Zuakoli fell, then finally my village fell. So we ran to what is called I think that village was we ran to Zwabham. I was separated with my father then. So my father was somewhere else and I was at Uzwabam with my elder sister. So in Uzwabam, the hospital that was in my town was moved to Uzwabam. That was the only medical facility that was in the area to treat Biafran soldiers who were wounded. Okay, so Nigeria was advancing through my village to Ohafia, and then they were also advancing from Umuahia through Bende towards Uzwabam too. So it was then that I decided from the hospital there, I was I think 14 or still around then, I decided to join Biafran Organization of Freedom Fighters, which was called BOF. It was, I went to, I think that was, I've forgotten that village where we went for the training. So we went there, trained for 8 weeks, and then we were then deployed behind it because as a young person, you are not going to the front. You were deployed to go behind enemy lines to cause some havoc. So I did that for about a year until 1969, from 1969 until when the war ended. I ended up in a place called Okwa. In Okwa, that is where we were when the war, when we heard the news the war had ended. Okay, at Okwa, where were so many Biafran soldiers. Hey, thousands. And this is one thing I want to tell you here. There are weapons. I saw it myself. We dug grounds, laid some plastic cellophane paper bags on the ground. We dug grounds and put those weapons there. If we can locate, if you send people to find those weapons, thousands of weapons were buried. I know the decay, the lifespan of wood, even some of them are metals, will still be there. Those weapons will still be there. Because unless, I don't think Nigeria, because that's a really very remote area, Okwa, very remote area. We buried those weapons. They are still on the ground. I don't think they will spoil. So that's why I found myself in Okwa. And then when the war ended, even during this time, all throughout the war, I never got sick. I was a healthy man.
Yes.
Oh, never got sick. Never even thought about getting sick. But as God will have it, the last day, January, was it January 3rd or what? When the war ended, the war was supposed to end. That was the day I got sick. I had malaria.
Wow.
There was a family there that went and brought dogoyaro. You know what it's called, dogoyaro? You remember? It's the leaf.
Yes.
Is that leaf? Yeah. So, yes. So they went and brought it and boiled it and gave me. I drank it and I used part of it to bath, and that helped me. So that morning, when the war was supposed to be over, the person that I was with, then each of us went our separate ways. Those going to this direction went their different directions, going back, finding the direction back to your hometown. So from there, I was Okwa to my village is almost more than 200 miles. So I walked and walked and walked and walked with my fever. Slowly, passing people carrying all their properties, villagers, other, going back to their villages, to children, everything that they owned on their head, going back. I will walk and walk past them. I will walk, I get tired, I'll stop and rest. And then somebody will come and tell me, come on, get up, let's go. I will get up and walked until finally I made it to my village. I saw the first glimpse of my father's house. Ooh, I say, I'm back home. When I reached home, my father they already made it home with some of my brothers and sisters. Wow. Fortunately, one of the captains of the Nigerian army was occupying my father's house.
Wow.
So when I'm telling you, a house that does not belong to him was occupying it. So when my father arrived, since they arrived first, they were actually living upstairs, downstairs. So but when my father arrived, so they moved upstairs and then gave my father the downstairs after pleading. After my father, because they had told my father to go somewhere else, that they didn't have any, there's no space for them to stay here. But after pleading, they allowed them to move in and stay downstairs while they moved upstairs. So with my fever, at least, they were kind enough. The captain, he sent his bodyguards, his servants, to go to their barrack and get me some medication and some food. So they went and came back with malaria medication and some food. So after I ate that and drank the medicine, I recovered and became strong again. So during this time, you cannot go outside. Even then, nobody was able to go outside because they were still rampant. They were still all over the place, all over the place. If you don't travel at night, because if you travel at night, whatever happens to you, you are accountable for yourself. So for us, we just stayed home. We just stayed home until finally the captain left our building and moved back to their barracks. And then school resumed. That was still in January. We started back in high school, so we all went back to school. And this time high school, they were giving promotion if you were in first class 1, when the war started, they promote you to class 2. If you were in elementary 6, when the war started, so you go to class 1. Those who were in class 5, you remember that? Good. Those who were those who were already in class 5, they do their school start. Do their school start in 1970. But in 1970, that's when it's called Expo 70 because there was an Expo. You remember that too?
I remember
there was
Expo
70. Yeah, Expo 70.
Because he was wanted to survive by hook or by crook. They went to get back to the ladder.
Exactly. So those people who did Expo 70, the class of 70, then they were their results were disqualified, so they had to come back in 71 and retook their school start. So for me, my father didn't allow me to advance to class 2. So he told me to repeat class 1. So I started from class 1 again in 1970, and then progressed and finally did my school start in 1974. I finished my school start. Right after my school start, I started applying. I took the NDA, Nigerian Defense Academy. I passed it. I started, my friends were applying to universities overseas. I did the same, got admission to Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas. Then because of most of my friends were coming over to the United States, I decided to come to the United States also. So I forwent my NDA possibility, I said maybe I would have been I would not be what I am today if I had joined the NDA. I would be a crook like them.
Maybe they would have killed you.
So, but thank God I didn't join the NDA. So since I came here, I really realized that I did not belong in Nigeria. The way I knew that is because when I came to K-State, Kansas State here, most of the Northerners I met at K-State were all on scholarship.
Yes.
They even had a member, the head of the scholarship board, who gave himself scholarship, and came here, who came to study, and we, the Igbos, all of us were the only ones that were not on scholarship. We were all private students.
Yeah.
That's when I came to me that I did not belong in Nigeria. And these people did not perform more than me. I finished school start with Division 1, and they didn't give me scholarship. But they gave themselves scholarship. All of them with their wives, everybody. Nigeria, they were being paid with the oil money that came from my region. And you are there suffering to raise money to pay your tuition, to pay your rent, to live, to buy everything you need, all on your own effort.
Doing also some menial jobs to make ends meet.
Ends meet, exactly. So, and then another thing occurred to me while I was at K-State. I had a friend that came from River State that came the next semester after me. After I was there, he came to the school the next time. He was from it's not Bonny. He was from I can't remember where he's from, but he's from River State. So when we were discussing, he told me that Biafran soldiers massacred his people. Well, I started to think about that. But now, being an adult and I know the rigors of war, the dirtiness that war involves, I questioned that. Until later on, after I joined the United States military, I said, this guy didn't know what he was talking about. Nigeria dressed in Biafran uniform, massacred our people, just massacred their people, just like they massacred our people in Asaba. So with himself being a young man at the time, they realized the duplicity that Nigeria had committed. So he had that in his mind, and he was using that against us. You see? So Nigeria soldiers dressed in Biafran uniform went to his area when they overtook the place and massacred their people. And these people still have that in their mind, that it is Biafran soldiers that massacred their people. So I came to realize that was false. And I'm still, since I came to that realization, I'm still, I wish I can find that guy to ask him if he still holds that belief. Because it's not Biafran soldiers that massacred their own people. Because people from his area fought for Biafra also.
Very well.
Very much. So, let me see where else. Okay. Now, after the war, as you can see why we are here, one thing we failed to realize is that there is no single Biafran who overcame the war, who saw the war, who survived. Till today, if it was in the West, you would have been treated for PTSD. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder.
Yeah.
There is no single Biafran who went through the war, who survived, who is not suffering from PTSD.
That's correct.
All of us should be treated for PTSD. So that is my story. And Nigeria is not a place for us. I will tell you, all of you this. You know, I told you the story of the Assyrians, because in Nigeria today, they have stopped your schooling. They don't teach you history anymore. They don't teach you geography anymore. All the core essential courses that they're supposed to teach you, they don't teach you anymore. The Assyrians lost their lands in the olden time. They lost their lands. They were conquered by another tribe. And when they lost their land, the occupiers took all of them out, massacred them. The surviving ones they took as slaves. For a period of time, the Assyrians are no longer found or mentioned anywhere in history. They have been completely eliminated. Their language, culture, everything disappeared. I think on my Facebook, I wrote once, where was that? I wrote, something like, I'm afraid of my people. I'm afraid for my people. Because is this going to be our fate? If we allow Nigeria Muslims to destroy us, we are going to lose our culture. We are going to lose our means of livelihood. They will kill all of us, men, the women they will spare to breed the next generation of murderers. And our culture will disappear on the face of the earth. That is why all those people who are for Nigeria do not wish Biafra well, do not wish us well, do not wish our people well, do not wish his own family well, because our survival is of the essence. I will stop at nothing, even while I'm here. We are not fighting a war like we fought in the 60s. We are fighting a different kind of war, a different kind of warfare. If we had fought the kind of warfare I think we are fighting today, even after when Nigeria defeated us in the 60s, if we had melted into the bush instead of just giving in. Yes, if we had melted into the bush and continued the fight in a guerrilla warfare, we would have gotten our freedom by now. Because no foreign army can defeat a guerrilla army in their own land. That is never done. So let the lesson of the past be our guide for the future. Those who seem to like Nigeria so much because of the money Nigeria can throw at them, those people do not have discernment. They do not have foresight. What will happen 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, 100 years from now? Their children, their children's children, to posterity. As Onyaga, like my brother said, Onyaga Vanne dokon wow vanne binko. Chitakwe no bachamu na vanne chane lowa. Mande inile arapo de balaga. That is what we should be. We are all our brothers' keepers.
Absolutely.
No matter where you are, no matter how much money you think you have, no matter how educated you think you have acquired, we are all our brothers' keepers.
Absolutely.
I will give up my life to have Biafra than to stay in Nigeria. I would never enter the plane and say I will arrive at any Nigerian city. I am not a Nigerian. Anybody that says I am a Nigerian is a liar. I am a bona fide born son of Biafra.
Biafra.
And I will die as a Biafran.
Yes,
I'm proud of it. Those who are not proud to be Biafrans, let them pack their things and move to Kaduna, to Zaria, to Zamfara, but leave Biafra for us. And we shall die for Biafra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
Wow. I'm just going to be asking one question, but I want to tell Biafrans, if you have a question, you can send it, you can type it, or if you want to call in, you can call in and ask our guests any question. We have some few minutes to go before we allow them to go do what they have to do for the day. The number to call, +212 707 898 194 +212 707-898-194. In case you have any question to ask them, in case you have any comments to make, or if you cannot call, you can still type the message and read the message out, the question out here to them. It is really disheartening and it's really painful, and it's really a privilege to hear from fathers. And especially if you want to actually harmonize your future and actually take your future and positively in your hands, you must listen to the fathers. And that is why we have these two fathers here today speaking to us in their experience, and making us understand their experience in line with what our nation, Biafra, has gone through. And I want to make you to understand that every word that you have heard from them today is very crucial to doing right now. And if we don't listen to our fathers, listen to the voice of our fathers, as I've said, we're going to lose our generation, we're going to lose the generations to come, and we're going to lose out in everything. Fulani will take over our women, take over our lands, and we're going to be destroyed. Now, Kelvin, okay, let me put the question here. Kelvin has posed the question here. He says, my question to them is, what have been in their mind after the war till date before our leader came out? This is the question I wanted to ask, but I wanted to say something before, before I suddenly, you can see, from the amount of two witnesses, it's true established. So now I was wondering what has been in your, because based on that kind of, just like talk about the treatment that everyone who has experienced the Biafra war, should go through, and you begin to wonder what has been in your mind, this why. Now he is the question here further. He says, after the war till date before our leader came out. Please, let me answer
that question.
Oh, yes, Pastor Victor, let me allow you first answer before
I answer that question. And remember, I did say that the acclaimed number of Biafrans killed during that war is,
please, before you go on, please. They said they want to follow the two of you. Somebody says, Solomon says he wants to follow the two of you on Twitter and Facebook. So you can please say your Twitter or Facebook handle, your Twitter handle here, or your Facebook, name, so that everybody can hear it before we forget this. That's why I want you to quickly do that before you now go on with the question. Please say your Twitter handle, or your Facebook page, your name on Facebook, so that they can find you. And then when Chief also comes in, he's going to tell them the same thing, tell them before he goes on with the answer. So please, Pastor, go on.
Yeah, the estimated number of Biafrans killed during that war, it's just massaged. It's not the real figure. It's not the real figure in the sense that when Biafrans left their villages to run for safety, they joined established markets. They joined established local markets, and bombs were dropped in these markets. People were killed in these markets. People were maimed in these markets, and nobody accounted for them. Now, secondly, after the war, Biafrans returned back to their villages. They said they gave Biafrans 20 pounds. We did not see it. We did not see the 20 pounds in the village. Every Biafran resorted back. They went back to farming. And remember, a farmland now infested with live bullets, bombs, and mines.
Yes.
And our farming process back home. We cut the bush, we allow it to dry, and then we set it alight. Oh my days. When these bushes were set alight, that was another war front.
Exactly.
People went to the farm and never came back.
Okay.
A lot of people went to the farm after the war. Many years, this happened many years after the war. They went to the farm and never came back. Oh, yeah, Dave John is dead. oh, the chaplains is dead in the farm.
So you're saying that that 20 pounds, most people didn't get it. It was just official pronouncement, but it never reached many people.
Exactly.
No, undisclosed ordinances.
That's not a true number. Because all these people that died afterwards, they were not accounted for.
Yeah.
But they were all victims of this genocide. Now, the question, the viewer asked the question, what have been on our mind since after the war? What were we thinking? Let me tell you something. There is no Biafran child that went through that war, that saw that war, that have anything left in them. They were broken. Confidence was gone. And many Biafrans, those Biafrans that saw that war and still make it in life today, I raise my hand to them. Believe you me, confidence was gone. Where's the confidence when you are there, they're raping your auntie? Where's the confidence? Being intimidated in your own village. You have soldiers with guns. You have young girls now dressing as old women. Just to pass military checkpoint without being harassed. Where's the confidence? The confidence gone. And many of us that saw that war, we just, accepted things as they were. Honestly, we accepted things as they were. There was no strife. It's just okay. Let me get out. Okay? I do everything to get out. And some said, okay, no education. They went into business to control their own future. Because they have realized that the Nigerian government cannot give them the future they want. They went into business. And they did very well. There was no confidence. As my honorable said, what we saw during that war, if it is in Europe, everyone will be subjected to a treatment. Everyone will be subjected to treatment.
Yes, not suffering from PTSD.
And when we started hearing, Uwasirike and all that, they terminated them, believe you me, we didn't have any confidence in them, because by this time we have seen how our politicians have sold us out, how they have collaborated with Fulani to marginalize us. People like Wike, who was doing well, we were very proud of him because of his infrastructural development, until he messed up himself, killing our brothers and those people. Are they the people we're going to trust? There was no more hope. The people who thought will help us, will speak for us, they became dumb and dumbers, which they are still are to today. Dumb and dumbers. How many of them have spoken about what is happening in the eastern region? How many? How many? Where has the boldness gone in the lives of these people? Where has the lion spirit gone in the lives of our government? Fulani will come and kill our people, they won't even talk. They come and burn our market, nobody talks. They do anything they want to do to us, nobody talks. It is only when Mazen Nandekano came up and the spirit in that man resurrected our own spirits that was dead. We started listening to him. He started making sense. He started saying the things we have in our mind all these years, the pain we have carried in our hearts all these years. Listening to Mazen Nandekano was like a surgery. It was like a surgery. That woke us up. That woke us up. That gave us hope that all is not lost. Came the kidnap. Oh my God. Heart attack. The one that we hope on. Has been kidnapped. The question that was on every Biafran's mind, there's such a new Biafran man. How can this man be kidnapped? How possible is it that Mazen Nande Kanu could be kidnapped? Up to today, to me, it's just like a dream, an illusion. Because he wasn't a careless man. He knew he had enemies. He knew he had enemies. He knew he had enemies that even want to kill him if they have the chance. So he did not leave himself exposed. Somebody did it somewhere. Then hope crashed again. Then Mazi Simon Ekpa came up. Oh, thank God. He's speaking like Mazi Nandekan. And then people started, talking and joining him and pretending they are there to help him. And, the confusion, the betrayal again. Oh my God. What is happening to the Igbo man? What is happening to Biafrans? What is happening to the Biafra race? But none of us who saw through Simon Ekpa who refused to lose hope. Even when the people we thought that would have helped him, to support him, to build him up, became a disappointment, this guy stood as a one man. One man standing, the last man standing. He became the last man standing.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, my phone died. I had to plug it in.
Oh, okay.
The last
It died.
man standing.
It charged up 1% now, so I was able to get back in.
And he gave us hope again.
Yeah. Somebody's asking
So to answer that question,
okay,
we were literally a living dead after that war. Every one of us.
Okay. Now somebody's asking a question here. I'm going to direct to Chief Emeka. He says, "My question is: Can we defend Biafra land when it resorts to war, 2023? Now that the Nigerian army are in our land, unlike 1967?"
Yes.
It's a technical question.
Yes. Yes and no.
Yes, because you are in the military, so we know you can answer it very well from
exactly. If we are fighting a conventional war, we cannot defend Biafra because we do not have the military power to fight a conventional war. So it is only guerrilla war that will defeat a conventional army. So those Biafran soldiers who are in the Nigerian army who want to fight for Biafra should resign. This is the time for them to resign because we are not fighting a conventional war. If we fight a conventional war, Nigeria will overrun us. But with guerrilla warfare, they don't know when you are coming, where you are going to attack. Today, tomorrow, next tomorrow. Is a war by surprise. That's the way Kenya defeated the British Empire through what is called Mau Mau.
Yes, the Mau Mau War.
Under Jomo Kenyatta.
Yes.
Okay, that's the way. If we had fought like that when Azikiwe was leading our struggle for independence, instead of with the pen, in the situation we are in today. So as a military strategy, guerrilla warfare, that guerrilla warfare is not only confined in the east, in our region. It will be taken all the way to Zamfara, to the northern Nigeria, to destroy all their military facility. Yes. The only place I don't think will be a no-go area for us will be Yoruba land. We will not conduct guerrilla warfare in Yoruba land. But anywhere in northern Nigeria is a military target for us. Yes, so that's the year we can win it. The no is that it's not going to be a conventional warfare. We will lose if we fight a conventional war. And we don't want to lose. Never again.
Never again.
Never.
In guerrilla warfare, we live and breed in the bush. Okay? You are not a stationary target. Nobody knows where you are coming. Nobody knows when you are going. We have to establish a system whereby, because we have to feed those people in the bush, we have to provide them the weapons, the bombs, the roadside bombs, because when the Nigerian soldiers they are driving through, before they know it, they will be blown off the air. So they won't know what is attacking them, because you attack, you disappear. Mostly at night. That's what BOF was all about during the Nigerian war, and BOF was very, very effective. BOF stands BOFF.
Yes,
stands for Biafra Organization of Freedom Fighters. BOF was very, very effective behind Nigerian lines. So that should be our military strategy.
Okay, thank you, sir, for that perfect answer to that question. I want to ask, because another question, I know this one is one of those regular questions. I want to ask Pastor Victor. Somebody is saying here, John Almeida, why are some of Ohanese chiefs not thinking in this line? Is it because of money? How can we bring them back? Please, if you can.
Yes, why they are thinking in this line is that you all remember that Fulani have been designing this strategy for a very long time. And one thing the Fulani is very, very good at is polluting the heads of any community. They find the head of the community, they find the traditional rulers, and they go and pollute them for their own purposes. And you know what money can do? Money can attract negative behaviors. So once chief has got them money from Fulani, he will tell another chief, oh, Fulani bought me this car. Fulani gave me a bag of Ghana must go. They just brought 10 bags of Ghana must go from my land. They said I just have to give them a land to rear their cows. That chief, he will be the one that will be calling the Fulani to come and do to him what he did to the last chief. And this is how they changed the people that were supposed to be talking for us. And once you have eaten Fulani money, you are doomed. And that's what's happening to our people. But one thing I can tell you, despite the corruption, despite the advancement they have gotten with bribery money, despite the good life they think they have gotten with bribery money, Fulani money, deep down in them, deep down in every one of them is Biafra. Quote and unquote. Deep down in every one of them, from Naiwodo to even Wike, who is now singing campaign songs in Igbo, that said it's not Igbo, and now singing campaign songs in Igbo. Deep down in every one of them is Biafra. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Once you are willing to give something, there's somebody willing to take it. And that's why they're not saying what we're saying. But deep down in their need. But they're pretending. Because they know that
It's the same question that the same question anyways that Kevin, another man here, Alexander and Co are still asking. I want to ask Chief Emeka, do you have what do you have to say in that line too, to that question?
Yes, the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money itself. We all work hard to make money, to live a decent life, but it's the love of money. These people are not thinking about the future of their children beyond themselves, the future of their children, their children's children. They're only thinking about the here and now. So far as I'm doing well, my family is doing well, I'm okay with it. They're not thinking about the social relevance of other people, to bring other people. It's the social good that is most important when you are talking about any society, not just you and your family. So these people are corrupt. These people don't have any discernment. These people are short-sighted. They are evil in themselves. So I don't see anything good coming out of them until they repent and turn around and start thinking about other people beyond themselves, beyond their family. Because 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now, long after they've died and gone and rotten, and they've been eaten by maggot, their children will still be here. Either as free citizens of a free society, or as slaves of a conquered people. And one other thing, what I was, the first question you had asked before my phone died is, I have been, what has been in my mind since the war ended?
Yes.
I will tell you this. I have been a Biafran in spirit, in deed, and in my actions. I have never, since I came here, when anybody asked me, where are you from, said I was from Nigeria. I have never done that.
Wow.
I've always told people I'm from Biafra. They say, where is Biafra? I said, Biafra is located on the western side of, on the eastern part of Nigeria, between Nigeria and Cameroon. Then I qualify it and say, we are fighting for our freedom. We fought a war in the 60s. Unfortunately, we lost, but we are continuing that fight today. So that is always my answer to people who ask me, where are you from? I'm a Biafran. I will always be a Biafran. I will never be a Nigerian. If I become a Nigerian, I would die. I'd rather die than to become a Nigerian.
Wow. 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 That is fantastic. In fact, the answers to these questions are mind-blowing. And I want to let Biafrans know that this program, we have already gone 2 hours. We might need to have our guests next week to continue the line of thought. For those of you asking questions and all of that, we'll have them next week. Please, I don't know if they will be, if they will permit me to say we want to have them. Please, sirs, we would like to have you again next week to, you know, for other questions we're going to ask and for other questions people are asking, so that they would really have a maximal understanding to the perspective we'll be going, because of time, because of the narrating stories, I've not been able to ask the questions I would want to ask that would bring out some other things from within you to actually explain and to Biafrans about, especially concerning what we're doing right now, because it is key for us to relate what has happened to what we're doing now, so that the people can have a perspective to how they can handle now. Because through your experiences, you've been able to at least come to a point of where you can teach Biafrans, and Biafrans can understand what they need to do now. And one of the factors and one of the things that have been talked about here is the guerrilla warfare. But the average Biafran, the women who are in the old women, the young children, and all of others would need to know what they also need to do in their own, you know, in their own ways, you know. And of course, talking about supporting the full support for the cause of the mandate at this time. So I want to thank you, sirs. Honestly, you have really, I mean, it's so, in fact, at a point I was having tears, you know, in my eyes, you know. But one has to just control some things, you know, when you are, you know, I had to just, you know, stay strong so that I don't get my people to break down too, you know, because I was really, it's mind blowing. And I don't expect anybody who watched this after now to think of Nigeria. Honestly, it will mean that person needs, I don't know, that psychological therapy or something, because I can't understand if our fathers have gone through this and they are still standing strong, then someone who is young at this time, knowing what they have gone through, would still sit down or still come up to say they are Nigerians. That is why we must all stand. Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. Thank you so much, Chief Emeka. We appreciate you. Biafrans appreciate you. And we look forward to having you next week, 1 p.m. Biafra time, same time. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Please. Yes, we want to have you to continue the discussion, please. I know we have taken your time, and it is part of the sacrifice you're making for the generation now to learn from you. And of course, we hope to have you. Thank you so much, as we appreciate you. We appreciate you real good. Somebody says, noted, from today henceforth I will keep to what our daddy said. If someone asks where I am from, today I got real answer to it. I'm a Biafran from eastern part of Nigeria, between Niger and Cameroon. Good. So the people are beginning to understand what they need to, how they need to identify themselves anywhere in the world they are.
Anywhere. Exactly.
Yes, they need to identify themselves. So I think
Biafran today, Biafran tomorrow, Biafran forever.
Forever.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Sus, for this opportunity to learn from your experiences, to understand some facts about our lives, what we have experienced, even if we were not there, you know, because if you have experienced these things, we also should feel it and also know that we have experienced all of this psychologically, and we are experiencing them now. So thank you so much. Want to appreciate you. Biafrans love you, and I love you from here. And so thank you so much. Let me allow you go so that you can do what you have to do.
Thank you so much. See you next week.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Dear friends, we want to see really, you know, I know that you've learned so much from this, you know, and all of that, and you are already preparing yourself for the next, you know, time when they're going to be here. That is next week, Saturday, 1 p.m. Biafra time. Just keep your questions, get them together. Gather your questions. They will answer every question. They have everything it takes. You want to talk about tactically, professionally, whatever question you have based on, you know, what we're doing now, or in any way, whatever you want to know, you would know them. They are going to answer the questions next week. So prepare yourselves very well. And please remember, tomorrow we're going to be having our back to base teaching, 1 p.m. Biafra time too, where we're going to be looking at scripture, because tomorrow is Sunday, and we're going to be looking at our roots, back to base. from the point of of Elohim, to what we're doing, also relating to what we're doing. So we look forward to having you, and also to be part of it. Everyone, please join, and please, this video, you can download it, forward it to on all your social media platforms. Let them listen to these messages, and let them prepare to come for next week Saturday to hear from our fathers again, the information they're going to give to us, and the details from their life experiences. All of these things are very, very important to what we're doing right now, very crucial. That is why every Saturday we're going to be having this particular Nugget conference, where our fathers will be speaking to us, and then we'll get in the experiences from them. So please prepare yourself next week Saturday to be part of this. Prepare your questions, come all out, and please subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. Like this video right now as you're watching, and just share on all your social media platforms. We're going to try to see how these messages go all over the world, so that our people can hear, because our people need to hear, so that faith can come into them, and then faith will stir them up to do what they have to do. Thank you so much, all. Thank you so much, sir. And Chief Emeka, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Victor. We appreciate you so much. Thank you all, Biafrans. I'm going to play the video I played initially, and then we end the program here. Thank you all, and God bless you all, and enjoy your weekend. I'm going to play that video again so that we can have it as a way of closing the program. Thank you all. Remain blessed.
The world is slow in understanding.
Very, very slow indeed. In fact, I was so surprised that the world could be so slow in thinking. I never knew that man could be like this. I had always thought that man is a reasonable, understanding creature that feels the woes, the troubles of others. But I didn't know that man, especially those who are in power, those who rule, that they could be so wicked and so hardened that they cannot just feel the trouble, the woes of others, and that they could just determine to starve a whole people and to kill a whole people. Well, the world is so slow in understanding.
Biafra is at the moment experiencing jungle justice, which is the justice of might is right, because we're under an economic blockade, we're under a propaganda blockade, we're under a diplomatic blockade. Nobody sees what we are suffering, nobody hears what we are suffering, and as a result of that, the wrong story is presented to the world. We are not heard, and therefore we cannot be judged except on the basis of the lies being told about us. When we have been able to overcome this jungle justice and we are heard, then we will then get the civilized justice, because our case will be brought into the open. And once a case is in the open, you cannot play tricks. We are now victims of blackmail because we are being suppressed, we are being muzzled.
But you still fight on.
We fight on, oh yes, Biafra fights on.
How long have you been in Africa, sister?
11 years in all.
What do you think of this whole situation?
I think it's just terrible. Terrible now. There's so many innocent people, so many civilians being killed.